Hello, everyone. This is David K. Richards with the Intuitive Leader Within. And I'm doing the second or third video, depending if you count part one and part two of the last one. And I'm really here today because I'm so moved by the feeling that I need to share and what's going on in the world today, March 17th. It's towards the end of the day, 2020, with the coronavirus and the worldwide issue and the pandemic. And so about 2 years ago, I was giving a talk, like a TED style talk at an education conference. And I remember speaking about this intuitive feeling that I had around this shift in the world order. And the organizers of the conference wanted me to send them my draft. They're like, talk about the future of education. And I was like, so there's going to be a complete cataclysmic shift in the world order coming. And I remember being on the Zoom call with the organizer, and she was like, yeah, say what again? And what, huh? What? And I was like, okay, I don't know how to explain this feeling that I have in the material world to just like people that aren't having this intuitive feeling that I'm having. So I let it go in the world of form and material. But I've been sitting with it for about 2 years now. And I find it really curious and fascinating that I had this pulsating feeling in my body that I had to do that first YouTube video. After I'd done a couple Facebook Lives, I just knew that I had to get on and record a YouTube video. And I'm a pretty quiet guy, and I'm not necessarily the kind of person that does this kind of stuff in public, but I'm at a point where I can't stay quiet anymore because I feel like I need to share this. And what's happening today and the last few days and week or so has really moved me to just share more and more and more. So I talked about in my last video that there's a shift coming in this new era of leadership, a reimagining of our education institutions, the way we lead from the old to the new way. And I talked about adaptability, interesting. I talked about creativity and the need to reimagine how we are going to operate in the future. And so here we are in my second or third video, and we're in this moment. And the shift is here. It's no longer a moment of the shift is coming or sometime in the future. This is one of those moments where you're going to remember, where were you when you had to keep your kids home for a month? Where were you when you heard about the shelter in place order? Where were you when? It's one of those moments where we're going to remember this, no matter what age we are or whatever. This is one of those moments in the world where we're just going to remember, and it's changed. It's not going to be the same after what we're going through. And so my call today, the reason for me being here today is because this is one of those moments where the future leaders that I spoke of in my last YouTube, we don't have time for that anymore. We don't have time to wait around for the intuitive leaders, the empathic leaders, the creative leaders, the people that burst the box wide open. This is the moment. We need the visionaries. We need the creatives. We need the innovators. We need the adaptable leaders. This is where I thrive because I'm a startup guy. So I've started schools from nothing, and I love ambiguity and not knowing the formula and the place. So people that are like me, I plead that we start to show people the way of the future, which is today, because the future is here right now. The shift has happened. We are in a completely different world. It's going to be fascinating to see how we navigate through this time. And this is the moment where we're questioning so many things. A lot of us are home with our kids. We're not sure. We have to talk to our kids about how there might not be enough food in the grocery store. What an amazing moment to explain to your children where food comes from. It doesn't just come off the shelf. It doesn't come from the bottom of the floor and end up on the shelf. What an amazing moment to be with your kids. My wife and I said, wow, it was so nice to just sit with our children the last couple days. We've been home with them for 2 days. And honestly, homeschooling, I know many of you might do that every day, but like, it's beautiful. Again, not when you do it every single day. I might have a different opinion in a month, but for the last 2 days, our kids have been so happy. My wife and I said to my wife, it is really nice to not have to be rushing them out the door. And she looked at me and she said, yeah, it's been really nice. There's something unnatural about it. And that was when I thought about recording this video, because I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, there's something unnatural about the way that we're operating. And if this isn't a moment from the universe, source, God, whatever you believe in or don't believe, if this isn't a moment for them to be slapping us upside the head and saying, wake up, people. No, we don't want you to continue putting your kids in 12 hours of daycare. We don't want to continue having you pollute the planet. And I could go on and on. Okay, you guys get it. But this is the moment. And the material world is changing. Right now, it's totally different than it was 3 days ago. But are the trees and the leaves and the rivers waiting for the next press release? Are they watching the 11 o'clock news to see what they should be doing next? No, because nature is still moving in its natural way. And so ask yourself, what's unnatural about the way you've been living your life? Because this is the moment. If you've been waiting to change your job, you've been waiting to decide if you want to move somewhere, if you want to follow through on that dream you've always had, this is the moment. And we need you to come out in droves. And the leaders, the change makers, we need you so bad right now. We need you to think about what are the ways that we can totally get out of the box, and how can we actually start to think of creative solutions? How can we push on virtual learning? How can we push on how we're going to do meetings? How can we push on how we're going to do exercise? I mean, the time is here. It is here. And so I really wanted to share this message today, that this is why I am just, it's coming through my body. And this is why I'm launching the Intuitive Leader Within. The podcast is coming. The Heart of the Matter, which will be a web platform that connects people that heal, people that help others across the world. I want to have a platform where people can go and find out. If I need to deal with my trauma, where do I go? We need to deal with this time. We can no longer deal with the 20th century ways, the old-fashioned ways, the ways that are comfortable. We are out of the comfort zone. Totally out of it. Okay? We're all freaking out, right? And let me be really clear. I am not minimizing what's happening here at all. This is a very serious time. And I'm very concerned, just like many of you probably are too. But there's something we can do about this that will really turn things around. And so the web platform will connect people around conscious leaders. Who are the conscious leaders? Where are the places where we're seeing conscious leaders? Let's amplify, highlight those people and say, how did you handle this? Let's use the coronavirus as the moment to share how we're leading consciously with empathy and with love. It's no longer just for profit. Look what's happening to us. It has to be intuitive leader from within. Those are the leaders that will change the world for the next 30 years. This is on recording, so let's see if I'm right. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. It doesn't matter. But that's my prediction. That's what I feel in every being of my body, every cell of my body. And so, to close, I really just want to say, if we're not at a point now where we realize that we are one, that we are all interconnected, that we are one as a community, that it's our time to shine, it's our time to serve and be adaptable and to serve. How can we adapt to this moment? I was in a meeting, I'm in a Toastmasters club, and people said that they wanted to cancel the whole meeting. And I was like, let's do a Zoom call. You can use my Zoom login. And everyone was like, oh, great. And now we're all just adapting and trying to figure out how to use Zoom. And I'm seeing how it's very uncomfortable for a lot of people. And that's okay. But let's lean in to the discomfort right now, and we don't have a choice. And this is the moment where we as leaders, as the people that are healing, as the people that are intuitive, that are the people that have done the work to resonate out all the amazing things that can happen, this is the moment. And I really feel very strongly that those of us that are doing this work need to come together and to help the whole of humanity We're so connected. We're so interconnected, especially nowadays. The whole of humanity to come together and to help us rise. So on that note, my call is to help us rise together. And it's really an amazing opportunity that I'm going to seize every single moment. Not because I want to make a buck, not because I want to take care of my fear, because I want to serve. And if we lead with service, and we lead with empathy, and we lead with heart, and the visionaries come out with a vision for a world that we have now entered, this is our moment. Thank you so much for listening, and I cannot wait to continue the conversation. There will be many more of these happening, and I really look forward to hearing what you guys think. Thank you.